Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Yutsa Bhattrai. The top stories first. Active cases of coronavirus top 8,000 in Nepal. Capital sees a surge in infection. Authorities decide to revoke vehicle pass for Kathmandu. Inter-district vehicle passes also suspended. Survey Department staff is to blame for Indian encroachment. Nepal said to be lost more than 100 acres of land due to erroneous map. Chinese cities find coronavirus in frozen food imports. WHO downplays a risk of infection. And a German club RB Leipzig through the Champions League semi-final defeat Atletico Madrid by 2-1. And now, the news in detail. The death toll from coronavirus has reached 95 in the country. The government yesterday confirmed 4 new deaths, taking the toll to 95. According to the spokesperson at Health Ministry, Dr. Jageshwar Gautam, the victims are from Mahottari, Dhanusa, Acham and Morang. Dr. Gautam informed that a 45-year-old man from Mahottari, an 85-year-old woman from Dhanusha, and an 18-year-old youth from Acham and a 57-year-old man from Morang have become the latest victim of the disease.
र जम्मा पुरुष 73 जना र महिला 22 जना गरी जम्मा 95 जनाको दुःखद निधन भएको छ.
So far, the disease has claimed 8 lives in Province 1, 39 lives in Province 2, 18 in Bagmati Province, 6 in Gandaki Province, 12 in Province 5, 4 in Karnali Province and 8 in Sudur Paschim Province. Meanwhile, the government confirmed more than 500 new cases of coronavirus yesterday. Out of 9,859 PCR tests conducted recently, 525 turned out positive, the ministry said during a press conference yesterday. Among the new cases, 127 were reported in Kathmandu Valley alone. The total number of coronavirus cases has now reached 24,957. Meanwhile, 109 persons were discharged from hospital yesterday after full recovery. The total number of recovered cases has reached 16,837, informed Dr. Gautam.
25 जना संक्रमित भेटिनु भएको छ र आजसम्म सक्रिय संक्रमित र डिस्चार्ज भएर जानुभएका गरी जम्मा 24,957 जनामा संक्रमण भएको देखिएको छ.
Currently, 14,759 persons are kept in quarantine facilities across the country, while the number of patients receiving treatment in isolation stands at 8,025. In the meantime, a District Administration Office Kathmandu has decided to suspend the distribution of all vehicle passes. According to a notice issued by the office, the allotment of vehicular passes has been suspended effective from yesterday as per the directive of the Home Ministry. The distribution of inter-district vehicular passes have also been suspended until further notice owing to the rising cases of COVID-19, the notice further states. The Ministry of Home Affairs on Wednesday had directed all 77 district administration offices to stop issuing inter-district vehicle passes. Vehicles carrying essential supplies such as food, drinking water and ambulance as well as press, however, will not require any pass for inter-district travel, the Home Ministry informed. The Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal has directed all domestic and international airlines to send an updated flight schedule for resuming flights from 1st of September. Earlier, the airlines had sent the flight schedule for 17th of August, the day decided by CAAN to start operation of domestic and international flights. After the cases of coronavirus continued to increase, the cabinet had decided to postpone the date to start commercial flight operation. According to the notice, the airlines have to now amend the earlier schedule and send the flight plan for 1st of September. On Wednesday, the Airlines Operators Association of Nepal had threatened to go on a strike if the government would further extend a ban on flights. The government's last-moment reversal of the decision to not operate flights from 17th of August had agitated the airline companies. In other news, the Supreme Court has directed the government to set up a committee to conduct a thorough study of old vehicles in government ownership, stating that the government offices throughout the country have been buying new vehicles every year and dumping the relatively older vehicles worth millions of rupees. The top court has ordered the government to complete the detailed study within 6 months. Lately, government officers have faced criticism from all walks of life for embezzling state resources on buying expensive vehicles. Deciding on the writ application filed by Advocate Padma Bahadur Shrestha, citing the lack of implementation of suggestions given by the Office of Auditor General every year, the Apex Court has ordered the government to submit the report in time. A division bench of Justices Anil Kumar Sinha and Hari Prasad Fuyal issued the order. The Apex Court also noted that the government has been abandoning vehicles in good condition at the backyard and initiating a new procurement process for commission. The Supreme Court ordered the government to curb such malpractice. The top court has also directed the government to prepare a transparent report that meets all legal criteria and could yield a long-term solutions. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. We continue with other national news. It has been revealed that the encroachment of Nepali territory by Indian side occurred as a result of erroneous decision taken by the staffers of Survey Department during the conflict era. Although the government has claimed that 98% of border dispute with India has been resolved except at Kalapani and Susta, border dispute in many areas such as Kanchanpur remain unaddressed. The teams led by Department of Survey during the decade-long civil war between 1996 and 2006 have been found guilty of drawing the strip map jointly with the Indian team in India. This led to encroachment of hundreds of acres of land by India. Pallavraj Bhatta, coordinator of the Kanchanpur-based International Border Concern Committee, informed that a team from the Nepalese Survey Department issued the street map completing all works from India, citing security reasons between 2001 and 2003.
उहाँहरु नाप्न जानुभयो 59-60 तिर नापेको त्यो बेला हाम्रो मुलुक चाहिँ द्वन्द्वमा थियो सीमा क्षेत्रमा कहीं पनि सुरक्षा निकायको उपस्थिति थिएन सुरक्षाको कारण देखाउँदै हाम्रो नापी टोली भारतीय टोलीसँग भारततिरै बस्यो उतैबाट आयो नेपालका सरोकारवालाहरु कसैसँग कन्सल्ट गरेन उसैसँग आयो उतैबाट नाप्यो भारततिरै गएर बस्यो उनीहरुसँगै बसेर उतैबाट नापी गरिएको हुनाले यो नापी विभागका मान्छेहरु जो त्यतिखेर खटिएका थिए उहाँहरुले कमजोरी गरेको हो उहाँहरु चाहिँ चुकेको हो उहाँहरुले नियतवश गरेको हो या डिफेन्स गर्न नसकेर गरेको हो त्यहाँ चाहिँ उहाँहरुले कमजोरी गर्नुभएको छ भन्ने हाम्रो ठम्मी छ
Although the government has taken a stance to only sign the strip map after ending the existing Kalapani and Susta border disputes, the employees of the Survey Department have already signed the map. Bhatta has suggested the government to hold dialogues with the Indian side based on old map, facts and evidences.
पुराना नक्सा राखेर त्यो स्टिप नक्सालाई राज्यले छानबिन गर्नुपर्छ जहाँ सही छ त्यो ठीक छ जहाँ कमजोरी भएको छ त्यहाँ सच्याउनु पर्छ कमजोरी गर्ने कर्मचारीहरूलाई देशद्रोहको मुद्दा लगाएर कारबाही गर्नुपर्छ राज्यको एउटा सिमाना एउटा नापीको अमिन गएर एउटा सर्वेक्षक गएर साइन गरेर पारी हाल्ने कुरा सामान्य कुरा होइन यिनीहरूलाई गम्भीर प्रकृतिको राज्यद्रोहको मुद्दा लगाएर उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ जेलमा राखिनुपर्छ
The elected representatives and locals from Kanchanpur yesterday met with Minister for Land Management, Cooperatives and Poverty Alleviation, Padma Aryal, and officials of the Foreign Ministry, as well as staffers of the Survey Department at State Affairs and Good Governance Committee to discuss the issue. Meanwhile, Executive Chairperson of the ruling Nepal Communist Party, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, held discussions with another chairman and Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli yesterday. Sources have revealed that the meeting was successful and both the chairmen were keen on resolving the existing internal rift within the party. Chairperson Oli and Dahal were in conversation for 4 hours at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar. The chairpersons reportedly discussed about the work schedule for the upcoming General Convention, shuffling the cabinet, division of rights and responsibility, self-criticism, ideological discussions, including other matters. The next meeting has been scheduled for today. NCP General Secretary Vishnu Paudal and Standing Committee members Sankar Pokhrel and Janardan Sharma were also present during the meeting. The two leaders met after a recess of 9 days. NCP has been facing a major inter-party rift after the Dahal faction expressed dissent regarding Prime Minister Oli's conduct. Police have arrested a person involved in a gold scam in the capital from Bara. Altaf Hussain Ansari, who was on the run since the last 2 weeks after police recovered illegal gold from his possession, has been arrested. His accomplice and a gold dealer were earlier arrested in possession of 500 grams of gold, 500 grams of silver, 15 kg of fake gold and 2 sets of pistols. Another accused, who has been identified as Sanjay Patel of India, is still at large. Ansari was earlier arrested for fake currency scam and had also served a jail term. He has not shifted to gold smuggling. Around 2 weeks ago, Ansari, Patel and Nilesh Sakhia were trying to smuggle the gold to India in a vehicle from Kathmandu when the police got suspicious and started following them. They abandoned the gold and got away in their vehicle. The police the next day impounded the vehicle and arrested Ansari's accomplices. Based on the information provided by them, Ansari was recently arrested from Bara. And now, the news from Economic Front. The Rashtriya Banijya Bank has claimed that it has been providing the lowest interest rate on loans in the Nepali market. The bank has informed that because its base rate is less than 6%, its overall interest rates have dropped down to single digit. CEO of the bank, Kiran Kumar Shrestha, informed that the base rate has been dropped down to 5.90% and all loans are provided by adding 1.25% to a 3.25% premium on the base rate. He further claimed that even by adding the maximum premium on the basis rate, the bank's interest rate is still the lowest in the market. He further informed that home loans are being provided at 7.25%. CEO Shrestha also informed that the bank's interest rate also has a durability with minimum changes during the loan period. At present, the increase in deposits and minimum demand for home loans has increased the liquidity in the market. The RBB is also going through the same phase. According to the latest update, the loan paid-up capital deposit ratio roughly stands at 63%, which means there is still enough money in the bank to invest it wisely. CEO Shrestha added that there are no immediate plans to make changes to the interest structure of the bank. And now, the international news. Two cities in China have found traces of the new coronavirus in cargoes of imported frozen food, Reuters reported yesterday, citing the local authorities. The news agency further said that the World Health Organization has downplayed the risk of virus entering the food chain. A sample taken from the surface of frozen chicken wings imported into the southern city of Shenzhen from Brazil tested positive for the virus. Samples of the outer packaging of frozen Yucatan shrimp sold in its northwestern city of Xi'an also had traces of the virus. Local authorities in China said. According to Reuters, authorities in Shenzhen identified the chicken as originating from a plant owned by Aurora, Brazil's third largest poultry and pork exporter. As confirmed, COVID-19 cases continue to rise globally. The discoveries raise fresh concerns that the coronavirus that causes the disease can spread on the surface and into the food chain. Viruses can survive up to 2 years at temperatures of minus 20 degrees Celsius, but scientists and officials say there is no strong evidence so far the coronavirus can spread via frozen food. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration and Agriculture Department said in a joint statement there is no evidence that people can contract COVID-19 from food or from food packaging. U.S. President Donald Trump yesterday managed to pull off a rare victory for U.S. diplomacy in the Middle East ahead of his November 3rd re-election bid by helping to broker a deal between American allies Israel and United Arab Emirates. According to Reuters, the Gulf monarchy and Israel agreed to a normalization of diplomatic relations. Israel also said it would suspend annexing areas of the occupied West Bank as it had been planning to do so. Soon after he sealed the agreement by phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, one of the strongest supporters, and Abu Dhabi's Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. Trump called it a huge breakthrough on Twitter and told reporters other similar Middle East deals are in works. Everybody said this would be impossible, Trump said. The chances to play global statesman was compelling for Trump, who trailed in public opinion polls ahead of what is shaping up as a tough election battle against a Democratic challenger Joe Biden. Trump has been unable to negotiate what has been billed as the deal of the century between Israel and Palestine. You're watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. RB Leipzig have made history by qualifying to the Champions League semi-final after just 11 years of their formation. The German club have become the first German team besides Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund to qualify into the Champions League semi-final after Schalke in 2010-2011. After a typically poor first half, Dani Olmo headed the German side ahead, but Atletico substitute João Felix levelled the tie from the penalty spot after he had been fouled in the box. The game looked like it would go into extra time with Madrid more than content to sit back and defend the game. However, they were punished for their characteristically defensive approach when the American Tyler Adams' powerful shot deflected off the heels of Steven Savic past the stranded Atletico keeper John Oblak. The game ended 2-1 in favour of the German club. Today, another German club will host another Spanish team, Barcelona, in the third semi-final of the Champions League tournament. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Active cases of coronavirus top 8,000 in Nepal. Capital sees a surge in infection. Authorities decide to revoke vehicle pass for Kathmandu. Inter-district vehicle passes also suspended. Survey department staffers to blame for Indian encroachment. Nepal to lose more than 100 acres of land due to erroneous map. Chinese cities find coronavirus in frozen food imports. WHO downplays risk of infection. And German club RB Leipzig through to the Champions League semi-final, defeat Atletico Madrid by 2-1. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website at janatasamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to stay away from coronavirus infections. Keep washing your hands. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.